All right, joining us now is Arise analyst Dr. Sam Amadi. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Is this deja vu when you hear, programs, 7 million, and how many million jobs in 2 years? Ambitious, laudable, you might say. So what say you?
I think we can't stop moving because we've stumbled. Okay, so let's say government has to do what government do.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you talk the talk, sometimes you walk the walk, sometimes you don't. But I have two concerns. I think it's a great idea. We have a youth budge and a youth advantage, so that could be cash out as resource and economic advantage, competitive advantage. Again, if you invest in digital technology, which is the technology of the youth. Economists argue that the way to grow is to what they now call, you look for a competitive advantage. And looking for that competitive advantage, you look at what can you do better than the person closest to you. So let's say countries like maybe Malaysia, Indonesia, are the ones who are aiming to move up to the more value creation. So we move into that space. And so the young people are actually very important resource. It can help us leapfrog. Some people I still believe in industrialization, but some people argue that, the way to go is what they call brain power. So you leapfrog and enter into the service sector.
That's why they're stressing the point.
Innovation,
skills.
But the problem is this: that those who have succeeded in this have had first is what we call coherence. Coherence means that all your parts are aligned. So, for example, if you're going to do this, you start skilling. So you emphasize merit-based society. You look at the curriculum. Let's say you want to create young people who dominate, let's say Africa, in terms of new jobs in ICT, innovation, ecology. So what's a national innovation system, NIS? So you see countries like Taiwan, it's structured, it's deliberate, and it's aligned at the highest level of government policy. What we have in this country is this connection. So you see this program NIA, okay, give 6 million, okay, you're gonna have some, what is called academy, you flood it with misfit people who don't even know what the word is talking about. And then you don't say, okay, these guys coming out of this, where next do they go?
Yeah.
What other, training, capacitation do they need to get to become the Elon Musk and that and web creators? Okay, look at the NYSC. I had a meeting with the National Army Center, Future Center, and I told them what to do. It doesn't make sense having everybody go into that place. Why can't you make the NYSC specialized for the best and the brightest? So you nurture them, give them real 1 year bootstrap training, after schooling, reschooling, and enable them to become champions. So the point is that politics will get into the way of this. This is up to 27. A good idea. If you have a real academy where it's okay, we're going to carefully select these Nigerians, process them, make them enter into the next step. Anywhere they go, there's alignment. So you don't finish this academy and you get into where there's dryness.
Right. Yeah.
So the problem is not creating these islands of seeming perfection and excellence. It's how do you network everything, and that's what makes it between a developmental state. That state is looking at endpoint, and everything is being wired toward that endpoint. That's my problem. So it might be good, but it might not deliver much.
Okay. Well, the minister highlighted, the NIA program having different platforms. There's the skills development, and there's the platform where those who have been trained will now connect with employers. So if you're looking for skilled labor, you can go on the NIA platform and then hire people. You can also connect, trader, buyer. It's a whole lot. And they have a lot of explaining to do as government.
Like an exchange.
Indeed, on this policy. But my question really is, when you look at the Nigerian economy, there's a lot of structural issues. You have power challenges. You have even internet challenges itself when you're talking about digital economy. So one wonders if skills alone and the fund, the startup they're giving them,
1 million naira.
Is that enough? Well, this is for the first set. We want that to reach everybody.
Geopolitical zone.
Indeed. So when you look at those poor infrastructural challenges, you wonder if skills and startup seeds alone can fix unemployment in Nigeria.
Well, it may not. But again, you see, the first problem is not the structural inefficiencies, because you can't recreate the world in a hurry. Is the idea inefficient. The ideas are not even thorough. And I'll give you an example. You talk about this idea of matching, getting these guys and getting them employed. So if the goal is to create more employment, then the focus should be what we call industry annexed training. If you look at Korea, look at because I've got it right. The industry tells you what skills to train. And then you annex training to industry, because the industry that employ them, so it's like fast track.
Right.
Look, if you look at the oil and gas industry now, there are skills that are obsolete. And there are skills that are coming up. And there are skills for post-oil era.
Yeah.
So the industry tells you what to train for, because their focus is not necessarily innovators. The focus here is jobs. And so the question is the clarity of idea. What are you working on? So if you're working on creating innovators, then it's a different route. If you're working on job creation, then you have to make industry the centerpiece. So for example, you can say which industries are going to create new jobs. Okay, let's say construction industry, for example, where oil and gas is still going to help us. Let's say entertainment industry, digital technology, economy.
It's interesting they mentioned insurance.
Insurance, well, because of risk, arbitrage and all that to happen. But the question is, in putting this together, you create a conglomerate of these industries, and they say, okay, this is like their school, finishing school. The government is convening power financing to say, okay, these industries may not care about trading Nigerian scale because they can hire globally, okay? Today, online work, so they can hire people from Ghana. But we want them to hire Nigeria, so we help them set up this up. So the industry is the one who is now managing that structure, because they know what skills they need. And it becomes easier for you to get in there. That was what we wanted to do with Petroleum Institute, the idea of Petroleum Institute. But the problem is that government construct business and run them as part of government patronage system and not technically linked to the industry.
What I hear you say is government may have come up with this policy without the buy-in or bringing in
of the industry.
Yeah,
and the industry themselves
that could
helping you define
exactly what
how
kind
to
of
run it so that
training you want
they'll
to
be
provide.
employable. By the way, government is not employing anybody, not much though. So what are you training for? The world of skills are changing rapidly. So you need to be able to be at top of that. And that's what, even the US with all their capabilities, look at how they get the industries themselves. Yeah. If you're talking about we want to be champion of IT or AI, you have to get the AI industries themselves to come and tell you what are the constraints, what do you need to be doing, how do you need to build. Because at the end of the day, it's not government that will be innovating. It doesn't, it's the industry. So at the end of the day, it's the industry will employ. So you need to know first what skills are important. How do we train them? And how do we work with them so that they'll be able to trust the product and they'll have incentive to take them in because they know that they need these skills and these skills are here.
I saw a report today. Nigeria is not in the world's first 1,000 universities.
The worst is that if you look at the World Intellectual Property on Innovation Index, we are far behind Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, African. I'm not even talking about the medium income countries or the redeveloping countries. We're actually stagnating country. Look at that. These are innovation index that tells you who is innovating, which systems are likely to be more productive, who are getting close to the frontier of the productivity. We are far off. So my sense is that until you remove politics, and the politics I'm talking about is that this shouldn't be part of winning votes or not winning votes. In fact, that's why people argue that maybe a dictatorship sometimes helps. It's not like dictatorship is good. It's that
a benevolent one.
Yeah, because that long period they are not struggling for votes. They are thinking rationally, they are planning, and they're putting the right steps. So if you ask me, a youth academy, a focus on youths for skilling is the right thing to do. But there's a way you have to do it in a way that it bears results.
They'll need to consult with you, Dr. Sam Amadi. They'll need to do that. Thank you so much.
Dr. Sam Amadi is the Rise News analyst.